Amer- America first, American first. Okay, so things are rapidly changing around the globe. Things are rapidly changing around the globe, the political scenario, diplomatic scenario, and the trade scenario. And in that prospect, it looks like that anyway, we will talk about it. Okay, so Indian Prime Minister, he was in United States in March time frame, and there was a deal that happened between India and United States. The deal that happened between India and United States when Indian Prime Minister visited America in March time frame that India would buy arms and ammunition from USA only. So that was the deal happened between India and USA, and in return the USA companies, they would invest heavily in India. That was the discussion happened, and trade between India and United States, that is more or less $160 billion, it will go up to $500 billion per year. So that was the discussion happened between India and USA when Indian Prime Minister was in United States. After that, some very unwanted incidents happened, and Pakistani militants, they were in Jammu and Kashmir, and then they killed people, and in retaliation India fired BrahMos missile on Pakistan, and Pakistan fired its deadly missile made in China on India, and India had already installed S-400 from Russia. S-400 is the world leading anti-missile system from the Russia, and luckily India had already installed S-400, and Pakistan had fired 30 deadly missiles in one go. 30 deadly missiles in one go, and S-400, it intercepted each and every missile from the Pakistan. So people in India, they felt like indebted to Russia. Because of Russia, India got saved. Not only that, BrahMos missile from India, that is made by the India with the collaboration of Russia only. So more or less Russia defense system, which is working right now, it is because of India defense system, it is because of Russia only. Okay, this is the scenario. Now when India launched Operation Sindoor on Pakistan, and 4 days war happened between India and Pakistan, then American President Mr. Donald Trump, he had he had intervened, and he made ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Right now also, I believe yesterday, Donald Trump reiterated that the ceasefire between India and Pakistan, it happens because of him only. He reiterated. And he also said that during the ceasefire discussion between India and Pakistan, United States had promised lot of trade between India and Pakistan. Lot of trade between India and Pakistan if they bring ceasefire. Anyway, ceasefire happened, and as per the promise, the United States has to sign on the lot of trade what he had promised with the India and Pakistan. Now, in that fashion, Indian Trade Minister Mr. Piyush Goyal, he visited America, and there he talked with the Howard Lutnick, Commerce Secretary out there, so that the lot of trade what Donald Trump had promised with the India, that should actually work on the ground level. And in that fashion, India promised 0% tariff to the United States. 0% tariff to the United States companies if they invest in the India. So it was understood that India is more interested in American company invest in India, and India is also interested in the American company who have invested in China. They should shift to India. Anyway, when China heard about this kind of thing, then more or less China had a discussion with United States in Geneva, and China reduced its tariff to 10% from 125% to 10%. And in retaliation, United States reduced its tariff to China from 145% to 30%. Anyway, so now in the new trade scenario, India offered 0% tariff on the American companies, and then China offered 10% tariff on the American company. Earlier it was 50%, then 125% altogether, so that None of the American companies who have invested in China, especially the Apple mobile phone, they should in any fashion they should leave China and invest in India. Anyway, that is the story. But anyway, as per the promise that India and Pakistan should come to ceasefire situation, then there will be lot of trade between India and US. Now India is pointing on the United States that where is lot of trade that you had promised. Now there is a, I believe some 2 weeks back, there was a hint that was given by Scott Bessent. He is a secretary for the Treasury, and then Howard Lutnick, who is secretary for the Commerce. They had given a hint 2 3 weeks back only that trade deal with India. It is right now. It is in a kind of doldrum kind of situation. It is hanging. It is not finalized. Why it is not finalized? Because India is in touch with Russia. Russia is a sanctioned country from the America, and Iran is a sanctioned country from the America. If any country is doing deal with Russia and Iran, then America is running away from that country. This is what it is going on. Okay, now Indian NSA, NSA means National Security Advisor, Mr. Doval. He was in Russia some time back to extend the contract of the S-400. Indian Defense Minister, he was in China some last week only, and then he was in discussion with Defense Minister of Russia out there in China. There was some meeting going on, and there he talked about the proposed purchasing of some fighter jets from the Russia, because India is feeling that Russian products are highly reliable. Okay, this is going completely red with America. Completely red with America. That you cannot do arms deal with in America and then again you are doing arms deal with Russia. Both are not possible. If both are not possible, then trade deal is not possible. Now Donald Trump again, he more or less he had made officially that if India and Pakistan, if they violate, if they are creating tension again, then we are cancelling the trade deal. There is no tension between India and Pakistan as far as ceasefire is concerned. Only tension is arising because Pakistan has now, it is news is coming that Pakistan is trying to make ICBM missile, intercontinental missile. In that fashion, India's associativity towards Russia is growing because Russia can only save India when China made missile if Pakistan fires on India. Already Pakistan has Shaheen 2, that is a ballistic missile and that goes 2700 kilometers. Already it is there. Now in that fashion, India is completely dependent upon Russia as far as missile defense is concerned, and that is going red with United States, and more or less United States is cancelling trade deal with India. Though Donald Trump has reiterated that ceasefire between India and Pakistan happened because of him only. Anyway, United States is giving reason that because tension is persisting between India and Pakistan, that's why he is trying to cancel that trade deal, whatever it is. This is the news. Okay, what is further to it? As we have always said, anything that happens in on this globe, anything that happens on this globe, the red means if there is anything that is breaking, there is anything sanction going on, if there is anything that is not good, then the side effect of it is going to China. Whatever you do and it is not happening well, then China is getting benefited directly or indirectly. This is what going on in the world now. Now, when America in Donald Trump he is saying that India is going towards Russia, and India has now compulsion to go towards Russia because Pakistan is moving toward higher range missiles, and in that fashion, Pakistan would do again nonsense in Jammu and Kashmir. That is for sure because Pakistan has to save its civil insurgency. To save its civil insurgency, Pakistan keep doing nonsense in Jammu and Kashmir. Then again, war kind of situation would arise. Then who will save India? Only Russia can save India. It's S-400, and then it's mind-blowing fighter jet planes. So this is what India. So India had no other solution, no other alternative but to go to the Russia only. Now, what America would do now? American companies, they are in China, and America had promised India. That's why J.D. Vance, the Honorable Vice President of United States, he was in India when Pahalgam incidents happened. Means America was more or less it was inclined to shift all its company from China to India amid the trade war with the China. The way China is eating America in trade situation, now no need to benefit China and let's shift everything to India. Anyway, now when India is moving toward Russia, then America is again means China. If anything happens in the world, China gets benefited. So now America is moving again to the China, knowingly, unknowingly. Now there are more agreements that are coming in news that is happening between China and America that is taking place now. What are those agreements? Till some time back, Donald Trump was in a mood to not let any foreign students enter into American university. Now there is again agreement has happened between China and United States where America has agreed upon making Chinese students study in American university. And in that fashion, China has agreed upon exporting the rare earth metal like I believe uh, tritium, gadolinium. These are there are I believe 17 rare earth metals are there, and they are used in making semiconductor chips. And in that fashion, American defense sector, American consumer electronics, and other area who manufacture semiconductor chip, they need rare earth metal, which China had stopped it. Anyway, in Geneva agreement that happened in early May time frame, China had promised giving the semiconductor, giving the rare earth metal. Now there is again discussion has happened between China and America, where the export of the China rare earth metal it would expedite now. It would expedite means it will become faster now. Means American companies would get easily the China rare earth metal. More or less the Apple deal which was in news that Apple is going 80% of the Apple phone are being assembled in the in the China, 15% in the India. Foxconn. Foxconn is a, I believe it is a Taiwanese company, Foxconn, and it takes contract of doing work from the foreign company. Now it has contract from the Apple, and it is manufacturing, it is assembling Apple phones in India and China. So 80% in China. Now more or less look like that America had decided to go along with the China only, not with the India. So the deal, the so many trade deal that India and America it was supposed to happen all got cancelled now. Whatever is there, if that is retained, that will be a big thing. But nothing new is going to come to the India. Anyway, what is more on it? Indian Prime Minister who has returned from the Cyprus, Canada, Croatia tour last week. Again, he is going on the tour next week, and then he is going to Ghana, then he is going to some Caribbean island. Okay, then he is going to Brazil, then he is going to Argentina. Four nation trip he is making. But the biggest thing is that the BRICS Nation Summit is happening in 17th BRICS Nation Summit. It is happening in Brazil now. So Indian Prime Minister will be in the BRICS Nation Summit. He is not necessarily that he go and take part in the summit. He take part in the summit where India is not involved into it, like G7 summit that happened in Canada, where India has nothing to do with the G7, but still Indian Prime Minister was there. Now in the BRICS nation meet that will happen in Brazil first week of July, Indian Prime Minister will be there. What is the hot news here? Hot news is there that Xi Jinping, Chinese president, is not coming there, and first time in SARC meeting summit, Chinese President Xi Jinping is not coming. Brazil President Mr. Lula, he is crying foul now because he had attended the BRICS nation meeting that happened in China. He traveled all around the globe and he attended it. But Chinese president is not coming there. From China, I believe some premier or vice premier level of person, he would attend the BRICS nation. So more or less, the BRICS nation is losing the charm this time when Chinese president, who China is the richest country in the BRICS nation, it is not coming. Why China is not coming? Chinese president is avoiding any confrontation with the Indian prime minister because China and America are together now, and America is running away from the India because India is sticking to the Russia. What India can do? When America said that if you have to get away from Iran, India did. India was importing crude oil from the Iran. India had developed one terminal in the one of the port that in Iran. I'm forgetting the name of the port. There is one port, Bandar Abbas, and there is another port which India was developing. Okay, name comes in mind and it goes away. Chabahar port. So there, the main idea of the Chabahar port was to import the Iranian oil, but India left it when America warned it against the Iran. Again, America is warning India again against the Russia not to buy any arms and ammunition. But problem of the India is if India does not buy S-400 or fighter jets from the Russia, then it will come under control of Pakistan. That India cannot tolerate. Okay, in that fashion, India has to go along with the Russia. Okay, so we will conclude it. What is the final thing that is going on? The final thing is that America is unnecessarily bullying around the world now. Unnecessarily. Boss, you don't have any anti-missile system. Russia has anti-missile system. You don't have very high-class fighter jet. Russia has high-class fighter jet. You don't have any high-profile missile. Russia, North Korea, they have high-profile missile. And nowadays, era is coming of missile only. You don't have high technology thing. Now, China is global leader in electronic sector. You are not leader in electronic sector. You are not leader in artificial intelligence. You are not leader in the arms sector. Everywhere other countries are coming into the picture. But your haughtiness, your bulliness is pertaining, is sustaining. Means you want every country to behave the way you want every country to behave in your favor only. When you are lacking in science and technology, same condition with India also. Yes, India is lacking in science and technology. Indian Prime Minister is just running this country to that country, this country to that country. Rather, see the Chinese president, he stays in his country only. Russian president, he stays in his country only. And Chinese people, they focus in that fashion in science and technology. Indian Prime Minister is running here, there, here, there, here, there. What Indian people would concentrate on? And at the end, sometimes it goes get aligned with the America, sometimes it goes aligned with the Russia, sometimes it goes aligned with the China. Wherever it is seeing profit, it cannot manufacture anything. Indian manufacturing power is zero. Anyway, what we can say now, this is a situation that is something that no one can understand now. What is future of India now? When India had expected so much trade with the America, but nothing would happen. And China is stealing the show again, if even if it is with United States.